As we head back to Daytona this weekend, I want to take a moment to talk about a guy who probably, if you asked him, would choose to bulldoze both Daytona and Talladega if given the choice. That man, of course, is Ryan Newman. Now, Ryan Newman, I'm sure, probably has a very love-hate relationship with both Daytona and Talladega. You know, he's actually a really good superspeedway racer when you look at his stats. He's made a total of 109 starts at Daytona and Talladega over his career, including the Busch Clash and Daytona duels. And since February of 2017, he's actually held an average finish of 13th at Talladega and an average finish of 10th at Daytona. In his last 10 superspeedway starts, he's seen an average finish of 8.7, including 24th, 9th, 3rd, 5th, 2nd, 5th, 7th, 14th, 9th, and another 9th place being his last 10 finishes. However, as good as he seems on these superspeedways, he only has one career victory, that coming in the 2008 Daytona 500. So that is why Ryan Newman, in my opinion, is for sure the unluckiest superspeedway racer in all of NASCAR. Now, aside from only having the one victory to show for all of the good finishes, he has also been involved in several big accidents at superspeedways. In the 2003 Daytona 500, he had a very scary crash which saw his rear axle come right off of his car in a flip.
Slams the wall. Man comes Schrader, and Newman is in the air and over. Ryan Newman, last year's Rookie of the Year. The rear end ripped from the car.
Oh, look at that thing lift up, Larry.
Just takes off like an airplane.
That's 3,400 pounds, folks. Just lifting up in the air like a feather.
And the right rear wheel digs into the dirt and tears the whole rear end loose from the car.
Yeah, if the tire hadn't come off of the wheel, it probably wouldn't have turned over like that. But once the tire came off and it dug in and flipped it. Let's watch her here and see what happened. Oh, Kenny Schrader got out of control, got into him. Oh, that's what happened, Mike. His right rear tire came off. Car goes airborne, then when it hits the ground, it digs in and just rips it apart.
Dale Jarrett's car. Wow. What a sight to see.
Then, of course, in the 2009 Aaron's 499, he had the flying car of Carl Edwards come directly onto his hood, sending Carl Edwards into the fence. Then in the 2009 Amp Energy 500, it was Newman's turn to go flying into the air as he had an accident on the backstretch which saw him go completely over, landing onto the hood of Kevin Harvick.
Marcus Ambrose.
Ambrose is there, comes across, Harvick stops, and Newman's car comes to rest upside down on its roof. We were hoping it would not happen, and here with 5 laps to go, indeed it has.
Hell of a job.
I don't know what started that. See, quite a bit of damage on that car. In fact, he and his teammate, Tony Stewart, got into the wall. But you see it turns Ryan Newman around. As soon as it does, it's almost like that wing acts as to help to lift the car up. Lands on Kevin Harvick's hood. See Elliott Sadler there involved.
Elliott trying to jam the brakes on to keep from hitting the 39 as it was pirouetting up the track. He's able to miss it. Harvick able to get the car woed down as the 39 just comes rolling down on its roof onto the grass and comes over again another 360 before coming to rest on its top.
Even though these cages are really strong, it'll push that roof down, and it just makes it difficult to try to get out. And I'm sure that Ryan was communicating that again, and this is what they're doing a fantastic job. And once again, the safety of these race cars take a spill like that, and it's great to hear Ryan Newman's voice.
There's the last bar being cut. They folded back, and now they should be able to get, and Ryan Newman climbing out. How about that?
Wow, what a great sight that is.
Then just a few years later, he would see the 78 car of Kurt Busch once again come on top of him during a flip.
Boyer's in it. Bobby Labonte's in it. Stremmy's in it. Jeff Gordon down to the ground.
Nothing else coming from behind you.
And Kurt Busch went over and over.
Boyer, McMurray.
And Yaley and Stenhouse thought he could squeeze by on the next to the wall, and he just couldn't make it. And this kid's ugly. Watch his thing.
Right on top of Ryan Newman.
Hadn't Ryan Newman had cars on top of him before here?
I think the 2009 race.
I think you're right.
Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards coming to the checkered flag.
Boyer's 15 comes up, clogs the track. Both Labonte brothers involved. Stremme.
Jamie
Number of those
McMurray.
smaller teams on the way to a good finish here.
Jeff Gordon sliding down through the mud.
Then in practice at Talladega in 2018, I guess his hood was a magnet once again as it attracted the one car, Jamie McMurray, as it flipped onto his hood during
Man,
practice.
that thing is flipping, rolling.
That car is junk.
You got that right.
Well,
Just
he
hope
went
he's
for a
okay.
ride right
He
there.
had been incredibly fast. He got a huge runoff turn 2, caught a pack of cars, made a quick move, and ended up in the fence.
Mike, it just really wouldn't surprise me to see some kind of maybe adjustment on the speeds here, because the cars are really, really fast.
Yeah, that happened way too easy.
And he's climbed out. Jamie McMurray is out of the car. Thank goodness.
See the 31 of Newman with a pretty good run. No, he maybe cut a tire.
Something happened to that car. It just went around all by itself on the straightaway.
And see, what really sent that car over was when Newman hit him on the left side. It lifted the right side up and caught air.
Yeah,
And look at
Once
that
these cars
car
start
come
rolling.
apart against the fence.
it just disintegrates.
I mean, everything did its job of what it's designed to do. The fence kept the car on the racetrack. Car stayed intact.
Watch this car now. It's just gonna turn all by itself right there.
Oh, the
Left
left
rear.
rear. The left rear
was down.
tire.
Yeah. Right over the top of Newman's car.
Newman and Ty Dillon both with a good bit of damage.
And then, of course, most recently in the 2020 Daytona 500, he did have his very severe crash when he flew up into the air after a hit from Corey LaJoie, which many people did not know if he was going to walk away from.
Blaney to the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside.
Wow.
Crash into the wall, into the air. Goes Newman
Upside down.
in a shower of sparks on his roof. Ryan Newman comes across the line for it and comes to rest. Scoring unofficial between Hamlin and Blaney as far as who crossed the finish line first. Newman got turned, went up in the air. As he came down, was hit by another car and launched skyward, coming down on his roof. The AMR safety team is there quickly to attend to Ryan Newman.
However, as scary as all of these moments have been for Ryan Newman, that guy is also the toughest son of a gun I've ever seen in my entire life, because he's continued to walk away from him time after time. Now, even though in his most recent race at Talladega he finished 24th, I think part of this has to be because he didn't want to race as severe considering what happened last time at Daytona. However, before then, he was looking consistently like he was about to win on one of these superspeedway races. So, with that being said, I would not be surprised if Ryan Newman goes to victory lane in Daytona this weekend for a second career superspeedway win. But maybe it won't happen because, in my opinion, Ryan Newman is the unluckiest superspeedway racer today. But what do you think? Do these great finishes that Ryan Newman has had over his career make up for these unlucky moments? Or does the lack of wins continue to push him down into that column? Leave a comment down below, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and enjoy the races this weekend in Daytona. I'm Danny B, thanks for watching, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you next time. Bye guys.